Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Athlete in the 519. Appreciate joining the show today. Today we have Cedric Ben. Thank you very much for coming on board. I appreciate it. If you notice here, he's got Box for Life on his shirt. And tell a little bit about it, and then we'll say it again at the end of the show.
Perfect. Box for Life is a nonprofit organization that I'm in the process of getting started. And there's basically two parts to it. Trying to raise money to help kids raise money for competitions, whether it's equipment or to raise money to help them go to competitions, whether it's just a regular tournament or the provincials or nationals. And the other part is to raise money not for kids to compete, but just to help kids participate in the sport of boxing, just to learn the good
life
workouts,
skills.
the life skills, the discipline, and the discipline and hard work that they get from boxing to apply it in other parts of their life, whether it's school or work or just being more confident in social settings. So yeah, that's just. And
you started that yourself?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Good for you, man. Mm-hmm. And also, the screen's guy. Anybody know a good computer guy? I thought I had it fixed. Now it's not fixed. So anybody know a good computer guy? I got to get my back screen fixed. Thursday, February 16th. Make sure you like, comment on here, and you're entered to win 3 tickets. Thank you, Tim Campbell from Century 21 for everything in real estate. Give Tim Campbell a call at 519-259-9999. And also thank you, Windsor Spitfires, for donating tickets. Don Simone, Mike Cosgrove, Gary St. Des, thanks for joining in. Last week's winner, JP Staley. So congratulations to JP Staley. Jim Wood, how you doing today? There's Darren K. Smith. So you help his kid?
Yes. Connor, been working with him for quite a few years now. Very proud of his progress. I remember him, he was just a 13-year-old. He was tall since he was a kid, but I watched him grow into a man. I'm very proud of his. I joined the boxing club just to keep myself in shape for basketball. I was on a basketball team there. So I just joined the boxing club just to keep myself in shape for basketball.
Did you box?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you already boxed before that?
Yeah. No. Sorry, no. I didn't box until I went there. Yeah. And like I said, I had no intentions of competing or anything else other than keeping myself in shape for boxing. And how I just got into it by accident. My coach one day, I was training for about a year, a little bit over a year, and then one day, my coach yells from across the gym. He's like, "Hey, Cedric, are you gonna have a fight or what?" I was like, "Yeah," but
that's how they always get you.
Yeah, I didn't really want to say yes, but he asked me in front of everyone, so I kind of felt pressure to say yes. But I told myself when I get home at night, I'm gonna call him and tell him, like, listen, I didn't really mean that. I was just saying it because he kind of put me on the spot.
Everybody's looking at you.
Yes, exactly. So, but then I couldn't. It was almost like I had two people talking to me. Like one person was like, "Man, you're not a boxer. What do you think? You're not gonna go fight somebody. You're a basketball player. You're crazy to go fight somebody." And then the other person was talking to me like, "Come on, man. Like, you that scared? Just have one fight to say you did it and get it over with. Like, come on, it's not that bad." So I'm going back and forth, and my match wasn't scheduled for 2 months. So every day this is going through my head. Like, I'm gonna call this guy and tell him. Anyways, I went through it. I had my first match. I got beat up. I got beat up, but I felt better after because I actually went through that experience and I survived it, and that actually gave me the motivation to continue.
And it's a lot of truth to that because getting hit in the face isn't fun, right? And to come back from that, you got to be a little off, but it's but you come back to it, I guess, eh?
Exactly.
But you still played basketball all through school and that.
Yes. And then after I graduated and I was done playing basketball, I decided to have a few more competitions, especially after that first loss. I told myself I can't just end my boxing career off of one loss. So I trained again. I got a little bit more serious about my training. A couple of weeks later, I had another match, and I lost again. but this time it was by split decision, so it was closer. And then I just went psycho with my training, and I was like,
I'm not gonna lose.
Yeah, and then I ended up winning like 12 in a row.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So then I graduated from college. I didn't feel like moving back to Montreal yet because I didn't really have a plan. I didn't feel like getting a real job yet. So my coach, shout out to the Blue Water Boxing Club in Sarnia, my coach Tom Hennessy, he's the one that suggested me to move to Windsor to train with Charlie Stewart at the Windsor Amateur Boxing Club because of the outstanding reputation that they had for producing champions. And that was
did Charlie pass away?
No, he's not passed away. He's in a home right now. We went to go visit him a little while ago. mentally he's not really all there anymore, but physically he still is. He doesn't speak anymore, but like he remembers boxing things because like he doesn't speak, but a couple of us went and we were talking amongst each other, just talking like old boxing stories, and we didn't even think he was paying attention. So we would be talking about boxing stories, and he would just randomly laugh like when we were talking about something. So it's like
that's pretty cool.
That the boxing part really kicks in and jogs his memory. So that was nice. Nice to make him smile in that way.
Kathy Godby, thanks for jumping in. Ryan Talon, how you doing? My man Cedric.
Ryan Talon, yes.
Best one game. What's that? Major midget hockey.
Head coach. Oh, yes.
Oh, you helped him out? Or
yes. Shout out Ryan. What's up?
Oh, and Nicole from, so that's Connor's mom from Rosa's Pizza. She's on watching. So they actually said that. They told me about you a while ago, too.
Nice.
But every boxing ring or every boxer I had on here or just a fighter, even a karate guys, they've mentioned your names constantly. So
nice.
I just...
Good things, I hope.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Danielle, how are you?
So now, and I apologize about the screen. We had pictures up and pictures of his fighters and pictures of when he used to box. But I apologize. I'm looking for a computer guy because once again, it didn't come up and I'm not quite sure. I'm not that savvy with the computers, but I apologize. And also remember, Tim Campbell, we're giving away 3 Spitfire tickets for you guys to like this, comment, let us know how we're doing, ask us a question, and you're entered to win 3 tickets to Spitfire Games plus VIP parking. Compliments of Tim Campbell, Century 21 for everything in real estate. Give Tim Campbell a call, 519-259-9999. And also, thank you, Windsor Spitfires. Wayne Michael, thanks for joining in. So okay, so you come down here, you graduate, you come down to Windsor, and you're not even getting a job. You're gonna box.
Yes. Well, I was going to. I did 1 year at the university, and then I ended up getting a personal training job at Good Life. Shout out to my man Mark Rideout, Mark and Matt Rideout. Mark gave me my first personal training job at Good Life, and I became good friends with his brother Matt Rideout. They both own a hockey team right now. They're both good trainers, and shout out to them too. But so I became a personal trainer at Good Life. So I was doing that. And sorry, just to rewind, my ultimate goal since I was a kid, I always told myself that if I didn't make it to the professional level in whatever sport that I played, that I would do my best to help others make it. So I always told myself that I'd either become a coach or a trainer, one of those things, and I ended up being both of those. So, but I didn't realize that this is the path, like how it was gonna evolve like this. Because I got a job as a trainer there, and I was volunteering, helping out, coaching the kids at the boxing club. I got my coaching license, my level 1 coaching license, and my personal training certification both in the same year, and I was doing both of those at the same time. So helping coach the kids and getting my level 1.
Now, and boxing, it's not really like you don't make a ton of money teaching kids how to box and that.
No. So that's why I got lucky. That's why I was lucky that I was able to make my money personal training, and I can adjust my hours to still make sure that I had time to help the kids.
Now, what gym did you box at?
In Sarnia, it was Blue Water, the Blue Water Boxing
And then
Club.
coming here?
Windsor Amateur Boxing Club.
Okay, yeah. It's a good club, that's
yes,
for sure.
Yes. They've had
Sue Williams, thanks for joining in.
At Refine, shout out to my Refine Fitness family. Shoot, I forget where I was going with that. Sometimes reading the comments distracts.
Yeah. So anyways, you come down and you start working out at Windsor Boxing Club.
Yes. So I was still competing at the time, and then I was also working at the time. But of course, work picked up. I picked up more clients. And I found myself, I didn't have time
to train.
Exactly. So I told Charlie, I said, I don't have time. I don't have the full-time schedule to put into training, but I'll come and help you out once in a while to help train the kids. And, and I didn't realize at the time how lucky I was to get this type of volunteer experience, because people don't get this type of volunteer experience. Like, it's very rare. So at the time, he had two athletes that were on the national team. Mary Spencer, one of the most decorated amateur boxers in Canada.
Oh yeah, she was from Border City. What is she, Border City Boxing Club?
No, she's from Windsor Amateur Boxing Club.
Oh yeah,
I think she might have started there, but she came over to Windsor Amateur. And also Adam Troupish, who was also, one of the most accomplished amateur boxers to also come out of Windsor. So at the time, they were both on the national team. Now, the national teams, the men's and women's, they traveled different tournaments. So the way that it worked out, when Charlie would be somewhere around the world with one of them, I would be at the gym with the other.
Oh, yeah.
And we trained at 6 a.m. every day. And so wherever he was around the world, China, Turkey, wherever, the phone would ring at 6 a.m. from wherever he was, and he would tell me, yeah, okay, make them go for a run. When they come back, do this, watch them run a bag, watch them do this. And I'm writing all this down, not knowing how much this is just, the great knowledge that he's telling me. And so I'm glad I was able to get that volunteer experience and help these two athletes that were already at the highest level. Because normally when coaches start out their coaching, the career, they have to start out, from the starting with someone that never boxed before.
Oh, yeah.
But I got kind of lucky in a sense that my first, coaching experience was helping these two athletes compete for, world championships.
Wow,
and get
amazing.
ready for the Olympics, right? So that volunteer experience is, very valuable. That's why I always, sometimes I speak to kids at schools or my old school, Lambton College, the sports program, and I just tell the kids, if coaching is what you want to do, take advantage of the volunteer experience that you can get when you're young, like when you're in your late teens or early 20s. Use that extra time that you have to get some volunteer experience, because it's hard to do it when you're older. Like right now, I wouldn't be able to volunteer like I did back then. I got a son and extra bills I got to pay and stuff like that. So
family.
Yeah. So when it comes to coaching, if there's any coaching advice I could give to any young people out there aspiring to be coaches, get as much volunteer experience as you can now with someone that knows,
what they're
as
doing.
a record, not just anybody, but get that volunteer experience, because it helps you out a lot.
So you now you eventually take over the gym, or you start running the gyms, right?
Yes. 2012, and one of the things I'm most proud of is that the Windsor Amateur Boxing Club, when it was open, it produced at least one national champion every single year since 1993. And I took over in 2011 or 12, and I was able to continue that streak going on.
Wow.
Right up until COVID happened. That was the only thing that stopped it, was when COVID shut the world down.
Yeah.
Very proud to be able to keep the legacy.
Now, obviously you take kids now, that young age, or what age is it, about 10 years old, you'll take a kid in and see how he does?
Yeah. And, well, again, it's when people come, I'll ask them what their goals are. If you wanna, because as far as coaching, I have two different personalities when it comes to coaching. If someone is just coming in that just wants to box, like just wants to learn and just to work hard and learn the discipline and just learn the sport of boxing, I'll be very nice and make sure you're having fun and have a good experience. But if you're competing, my attitude is a little bit different, because boxing is a serious sport where you can get seriously injured.
You got to be committed.
Yeah, committed. But also, when we're trained, there's no laughing and joking around. It's very serious. Most people when they see me outside, I'm nice and smiling and joking. But when it comes to training, there's no laughing and joking. So like training with me, if you're competing, training with me is not fun, because I'm on you about everything. Like, if I'm telling you to do something, you got to do it again and do it again until you do it properly. So that's the two personalities that I have.
Hey,
coaching,
and hence you got these athletes that are elite at their elite game because of you, though, right? Mm-hmm. Because you're saying over and over and over again. And I guess it goes back to Charlie Stewart calling you and just saying, hey, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. You got to do it right.
Exactly. I guess the other good thing that I got from him is that, is Charlie himself, he's had an athlete at the 2000, 2004, 2008, and 2012 Olympics. I already told you about the championship he's produced at the gym. So and right off the bat, that's who I'm working under.
Yeah.
So those are the standards that I had right off the bat, and I think that alone, like just raises my expectations right away. Because I talked to some other coaches, and some other coaches really, they kind of have the attitude like they just give in. They realize that it's too hard to produce a champion, and so they're just okay with.
They start quitting along with the boxing.
Yeah, exactly. And they're not really fully committed to the process, So there's some gyms that are just happy with collecting people's memberships,
absolutely,
just to show them, and not really committed. But my thing is, I guess you could say I'm addicted to producing champions, as I like to say.
Well, I mean, winning does produce.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it makes everybody feel better, but it looks good on you, right? I mean, you start developing. Everybody, you get to an elite level of coaching, so people start coming to you.
Yes.
And and that you're very accomplished. So let's talk about. Go ahead.
I just want to give a shout out. Shout out to the other boxing gyms in Windsor. They're shout out to Border City, shout out to Blue Water, shout out to Fighting Island.
Joe LeBlanc.
Yes, my man Joe LeBlanc, my man
Andy Wong, Joe LeBlanc, Fighting Island.
Yes, much respect to Fighting Island. They got some good boxers. I saw them. They were at the Brampton Cup on the weekend too. It was the Nationals tournament and also the Brampton Cup. So yeah.
All right, why don't we hit on that? So, anyways, his voice isn't usually this scratchy. So he was all in on the weekend with your boxers. So let's just talk about that on this weekend. So it was the Nationals.
It was the 2023 Canadian National Championships. We had a couple people from Windsor competing. Shout out to Border City and shout out to the West Windsor Boxing Club. Well, we'll start off with the kind of sad news first. My man Hunter Lee,
Hunter Lee, we had him on here.
Yeah. One of the, for the past at least 10 years, he's definitely been top 3 in all of Canada. And he's maintained that status for a long time. Looked very good in his first fight. In the second fight, quarterfinal, in the first round, looked very good. I'm surprised the referee didn't give the other guy an 8 count, the way that Hunter was piecing him up. And then the second round, just had a crazy freak accident. He went to bend down to throw a shot to the body, and tore his ligament in his knee. And it was really bad. We had to carry him out of the ring. So that was a sad note. I really feel bad for him because this was a really big year for him. It still could be a big year for him. I'm not saying like it's done.
Depends how he mends, how he heals.
Yeah. But I know Hunter. He's mentally strong. Physically strong, so I know he's going to come back strong with his rehab. And man, I wish him the best of luck this year.
Now, how many coaches do you bring up with you for this tournament?
Well, for the provincial team, there's 3 coaches. I was the head coach, and shout out to Margaret Canty. She was the assistant coach, and my man Mark from London, he was the third assistant coach. So we were the main coaches. But because the championships was in Ontario, a lot of the athletes' personal coaches were able to attend. So I didn't have to work all their corners. I helped in a lot of the corners, but I didn't have to be the main person.
How many boxers did you bring there?
Myself, I didn't have any my personal boxers there. My one novice, my man Jaden Johnston. He's gonna be my next champion. He's a hard worker. He lost a close one, and he fought in the Brampton Cup. He lost a close one, but he'll be back strong. But I do want to give, getting back to the positive note, I got to give a shout out to another Jaden Trudell from the Border City Boxing Club. This kid, I'm really happy and proud for him because a couple of years ago he was in the hospital in critical condition.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And he ended up he just started boxing at Border City, to get his confidence up and just to help build some just
self-esteem
build himself up. And a couple of years later, he won a national championship. He won last night, and he's actually the reason why I can't even talk too loud. He's the reason why my voice is like this, because during the fights, like when I'm coaching the corner, I talk, but I don't really yell that loud. The coaches, the boxers that I work with, they know I don't have to yell. They know what to do. Yeah. But when I'm in the crowd, like yelling for other people, and I was yelling for him, like I was cheering for him because like. The guys that he fought, like I think he's only 18. Like this is his first year at the senior level.
Wow.
The guys that he fought were more experienced than him.
Colt 45.
What up? I just met him today. What up, man? Very good guy, my man Steve. So the guys that he fought had more experience than him, a lot more experience than him. But he simply outworked them. He had better cardio. His defense was a bit better. And man, I'm very happy and proud for him, man, because he really came back His story is very good, very good.
Now, And you also have women in your gym. Like the women come and they learn to box.
Yep. Right now, at this moment, I don't have any females, but over the years I've coached a few national champions. Of course, most people know Mary Spencer. My first female national champion that I coached was Jessica McCrae back in like 2008 and 9. Then it was Jennifer McConnell. Then of course Dinesh Chappie, 3-time national champion. And then we had Marie and her older brother Kioma, but Marie she just won her nationals too. So congratulations to them.
Getting a boxer, so you get a kid young, or like you say, you started when you were in college.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that's probably a bit late, or maybe it isn't, right? But what's a good age to have a kid that comes in, and what are the right reasons why the kid's coming in? Are they coming in just to try it out, or do they eventually? It's sort of like your coach said, "Hey, you gonna fight or what?" And you kind of get forced into it. And like I said earlier, it's different when you get punched. Anybody can punch a bag, but when you get punched in the face, it's really different.
Yes. Just like the famous saying, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face, right?
Absolutely.
Like, I'm going to go in, I'm going to do this and do that, and then boom, and all of a sudden it's a different story. But everyone's story is different, man, and I love hearing the different reasons why, whether it's someone that just wants to get in shape or someone that doesn't feel too confident about themselves and might feel intimidated when they go into social settings and they just want to build that confidence for themselves, or someone that really has the idea that they want to compete. So it's not really one common motivation that I see. It's boxing just attracts people from all walks of life.
And the funny thing is boxing though. You are like in the best shape of your life when you box. Like honestly, God, it's just it's an amazing training.
Yeah. Well, you really have no choice because it's yes, of course, boxing saves lives. Because in both, boxing is one of those sports where your skill level has to match your cardio. Because best way to describe it, you can have all the skills in the world. But if you don't have no cardio, like whatever your favorite car is, whatever the fastest car is in the world, there's no gas in the tank. You're not going anywhere.
No, that's a great analogy.
Now, at the same time, on the other hand, you can have the best conditioning in the world. You can have the best conditioning to take a 45-pound bar and put all the plates on it and then put it on your back and run a marathon with it. If you don't know how to keep your hands up properly, none of that stuff matters. So that's why boxing is one of those sports where you literally need a good balance of both of those things to be successful. There's some athletes that have one over the other, but the ones that make it to the top, those are the ones that have a high level of both. As a matter of fact, there's 8 specific criteria that specifically what Boxing Canada has for the in order to not to get on the team, but the things that they're evaluate on, and those 8 things are being adaptability. So you got to switch up your style. Like if plan A is not working, you got to be able to go to plan B.
Hey, right? For sure.
Being unpredictable, not doing the same thing all the time. Because if you already know what I'm going to do, you can simply counterpunch me, and the thing there. Mobility, mobility with your feet to be able to move around. Like I always say, like if you have good enough footwork, no boxer should be able to cut you off. You should be able to get around. Mobility with your upper body too to make people miss. Because blocking is good, but making the person miss is even better. Because even blocking, the judge that's sitting behind you might, if your body's moving, the judge behind you might not see you blocking.
He's thinking you're getting hit.
Yes, exactly. So making the person miss is even better. Quickness, not just quickness with how fast you can throw a series of punches, but sometimes just how fast you're I'm gonna throw a jab and I still hit you with it because I'm just that much quicker than you. Efficiency. Not just throwing a bunch of punches, but making sure you're accurate with those punches, and control. Just sometimes when you're watching a match, you can just kind of tell who's in control just by watching, right? So those were the 8. I might have missed one, but hopefully that was 8 there.
Hey, let's just touch on.
What up, Raylene?
Let's just touch on Box for Life. And now,
Yes.
tell everybody again what that's about.
Yes. Just a nonprofit organization that I'm in the process of starting. It's to help kids in the community, and like I said, there's 2 parts of it. is to raise money to help kids, whether they need money for their equipment or for traveling expenses for tournaments. Sometimes, like for example, the Nationals last week was a 4-day tournament. So we need money for hotels and food too. That's for the competition part, or training camps too. Sometimes you want to bring people in for sparring. That's for the competition part. The other part of the nonprofit organization is to raise money for kids in the community that would like to box, just for the sake of boxing, of learning the sport and learning how the discipline and hard work that you get from boxing you can apply to other parts of your life.
Valuable lessons, for
yes,
sure.
Yes, exactly. Like school and social settings. Because I always tell people, when it comes to teaching kids in school, one thing I always make sure to repeat is that I'm not teaching you how to fight, but I'm teaching you how to defend yourself, right? So I make sure to remind them that, not to go around and start things, but if someone starts with you, you can easily finish it. And it's not, again, this is simply to defend yourself. I make sure, talking to kids, I make sure to repeat that all the time. I have all the kids repeat it. You're learning how to defend yourself, not learning how to fight, right? So I think it's one of those fundamental life skills that, all people should learn. And
it actually, it comes, it just comes with the learning process, because you know what you are going to do to that person if they don't leave you alone.
Exactly.
So you can back off or stop or whatever and get out of the way until they, get you in a corner.
Exactly.
Then they're thanking you for training them.
Exactly.
Now, is boxing expensive? And I don't mean it. Everything's expensive, and I get all that.
Compared to hockey, is really cheap.
Yeah, it sure is, man.
Compared to hockey, it's really cheap, in those sense. But yeah, it doesn't really get expensive until, like I said, the better you are, then it gets more expensive. Because then, if you're good, then you're going to be traveling a lot for competitions, especially at the international level. Boxing Canada has helped a little bit, but not 100%. Like, you still kind of have to pay a little bit of your way when you travel and stuff like that. So that's one of the things that I'm trying to help raise money for, right? But again, not just raising money for the kids for the competitions, just to help kids in the community in general. Even like to have an after school program where I can have some teachers volunteer to come help the kids with their homework and stuff like that. Because a lot of times, if a kid can't make it to the gym for training, either the parent can't bring them or they have extra homework that they have to do. But if I have a teacher at the gym that can help volunteer to help them with their homework, then they don't have that excuse that they can't come, right? So they can get their homework done, make sure it's done properly, and get a good workout in too.
Absolutely. So, and what's next for you? Obviously, we talked about Box for Life. Now, what's next for you?
As far as coaching, there's a few things I got going on. As far as coaching wise, I'm just trying to work my way up the ranks as far as Boxing Canada to work my way up there. A couple of months ago, I got a chance to travel with the senior female team to an international competition. So that was a very good experience.
Now, when they bring you along, are you going in somebody's corner that you don't even know?
Yes.
Or like maybe you train with them for a week or whatever, and you just...
Yes, exactly. So that is the challenging part. That is the challenging part. Like, for example, in the 2 training camps that we had for the Nationals, I just got to work with them for 2 weekends, like the weekend before and the 2 weeks before that. So, in those 2 weeks, I'm not trying to change anybody's style or change anything that you do. Only thing that I'm trying to reinforce is any drill that we do, we're just trying to reinforce the things that you're going to be evaluated on, those eight specific criteria that I mentioned before. So for the camp, I just focus on 4 of them: being adaptable, being unpredictable, your quickness, and your efficiency. So those 4 things you can divide up into different drills, whether it's shadow boxing or partner shadow boxing drills, or technical sparring, where it's not just all out punches, but you're working on specific things at a slower rate, emphasizing technique over intensity. And
And now, do you have up and coming boxers?
Yes, I was talking before about my man Jaden Johnston. He just has he just started out, but like I said, he's a work in progress, and I'm sure he'll come through. As far as athletes in other sports, I got my man Connor Smith.
I love that. Hey, what a great kid,
yes,
though, man.
He really is. So that's the other thing that I'm doing too is, So I got Box for Life, but I also have Box for Sports. And that's what I'm trying. What I'm trying to do is specifically
Bring in hockey players,
but
learn to protect themselves.
not just hockey, but all athletes. Because I've trained a few like NHL hockey players. I worked with Zach Cassian, Dalton Prout, a few of the Spitfires over the years. A few of the Spitfires over the years. And a few basketball players too. I worked with Mia Marie Langlois.
And what is it? It's just foot speed. So basketball, it's foot speed.
Yeah. Well, the different things. Of course, boxing is great for your conditioning, but the other aspects that the drills help you with, whether it's the upper body with your hand-eye coordination, whether you're a hockey player, got to be able to control the puck with your handles. A football player, the hand-eye coordination to catch the ball or throw a football. Basketball player with their handles on offense or quick hands for stealing the ball on defense. Every sport, and that's just with the upper body. The footwork, of course, you need the footwork. Yeah, of course, Jaden's doing them awesome. The footwork that you need in hockey, whether it's the goalie footwork, basketball for defense, football for just for running your routes. So again, the boxing is great for conditioning, but the other aspects, and that's the reason why I think I can make a difference. Because what the real goal that I want is to work with athletes. I'll play other sports, but I realize at the same time, just thinking ahead, I can't be in LA training LeBron and then fly to Tampa to train Tom Brady. So what I'm thinking is to specifically get in touch with their trainers and specifically explain to trainers how to properly incorporate boxing into their training programs. So I'm trying to do this online. So that's the online that I'm doing with Box for Sports.
And there it is. It's like Box for Life, or boxing is for life.
Exactly.
So everything you learn, you carry on the rest of your life. So that's good. I like that, man. Oh, also, remember to like, comment on here. I see a lot of people coming on here, so make sure you like, comment. You're entered to win 3 Spitfire tickets. It's February 16th. Also, you get Crown Royal seats and, VIP parking. You can't beat it. Drive right in, right to your seats. It's nice. So is that everything? How's family?
Family's good, man. My boy is 7 now.
Is he going to be a fighter?
I don't know. I can't force him to do anything. Like, he just wants to play video games right now. I love him to get into sports, but he just wants to play video games right now. So he's very athletic. I bring him to the gym. He'll run around and hit this. He knows how to hit the speed bag on his own. He does that on his own. But I can't tell him to do anything, or else he just won't want to do it. Let him do his thing now.
All right, thanks everybody. Thanks for joining us on Tim Campbell's Athlete of the Week.
I'm an athlete. You consider me an athlete?
Athlete in the 519, Athlete of the Week. Athlete in the 519. I'm trying to get my computer fixed. If you guys know somebody, I did have a guy, but I don't know. It's still on the blink, so I don't know what's going on. But next week we have Albert Mady coming on. He's a true veteran, 9th degree black belt. Everybody knows who that guy is. He's been around forever. He's been teaching everybody. And he's going to be very exciting to talk to. Not that we're a fight show or anything, but I'm looking forward to seeing him as well. I thank you very much, Cedric, for coming on.
Appreciate
Box for Life. Thank you guys for joining in. Thank you, Tim Campbell and the Windsor Spitfires, for the tickets. We'll talk to you guys next week, and hopefully I'll have my computer fixed for the screen. All right. Have a great night, everybody. Peace.